Well, welcome to ComSpark. Today we're in Cincinnati, Ohio. My name's Christine Zmich, and I will be your guest host today. I'd like to welcome our guest, Ryan Hale, who's Chief Information Officer at Lithko Contracting. As an IT leader in your company, how do you work with your leadership from functional areas to collaborate and move the business projects forward?
Yeah. I'm not even sure this is necessarily a specific IT response. I think all functions in a business need to operate in a very similar way to what IT does. Functions need to realize that they're there to support the end user. They're there to support the customer. So no matter if you are a manufacturing organization, your end user may be the guys on the shop floor. If you're a consumer products good, your customer may be outside of the organization. It may be internal individuals that support the customer, like a sales organization. For us in concrete construction, our guys are in the field. They're swinging hammers every day and getting their boots dirty. So for us, IT is about developing business partnerships that allow trust to occur between both parties. So how do we do that? First, we make sure we go out of our way to understand their pain points. Right? If we're an IT organization and we're just sitting in our cubes or in our offices every day, that doesn't do anyone any good.
So true.
We need to get out to where they do the work, and we need to understand the conditions that they work in and what challenges they're facing. And I think it's only when you can understand those pain points and you go out of your way to make those relationships and invest in those relationships that now you have a partnership that you can build upon. Once you understand those pain points, then you can go back and you can think of solutions to try to how to solve those pain points. Then you can go and you can collaborate with them on that solution to get their buy-in and have them understand what we're trying to solve together. And then as you start executing those projects, you need to make sure that you're being genuine with them. You need to make sure that if you're hitting roadblocks or seeing risks, you're bringing those to them right away and you're collaboratively trying to solve those or overcome those. And I think as you do that, as you execute projects and you achieve success, and you do that over and over and over, you build trust. You become a business partner. I think when you don't do these things, IT in particular just runs the risk of being the order taker, where folks just throw you projects that you have no control over, timelines you have no control over, and then all you are is literally taking orders and trying to keep up with the pace of the business versus being out front and being a business partner.
And plus you really ensure user adoption. I mean, you've got their buy-in, you're listening to them, and then they're part of the solution. And so your whole change management is kind of incorporated, and you don't worry about investing and then not being able to leverage the investment by people not adopting the technology.
Well, that's exactly right. If we IT sit in a corner of an office somewhere and come up with this great solution, but it doesn't solve anyone's problems, then either one, you're just wasting time and effort and getting no return on investment, or two, you're trying to go out and sell this solution to individuals that don't have a pain point that the solution's meeting. So now you really have a real change management issue on your hand.
Are you able to give me any examples of one of the biggest pain points that you guys were able to solve?
Yeah, I can give you an example that that we've solved here in the past few years. I can also give you an example of a couple that we're wrestling with now.
Sure.
So for us, a couple years ago, we were purchased by a private equity firm. And when that happened, we needed to stand up an entire new shared service organization. So everything from accounting to AP to payroll to IT. And as we did that, it was an opportunity to take a large business that had done very well for itself over the course of 23, 24 years, but it was run on a series of spreadsheets, and we'd outgrown that series of spreadsheets. So it was the perfect opportunity to stand up a new ERP system and implement that and get our users involved with the use of the ERP system. So they had timely and accurate data at their fingertips versus data that went into spreadsheets that then got sent to someone else to put into more spreadsheets that eventually, daily or weekly or monthly, some reporting came out to provide them visibility of where they are.
Great.
Instead, now they could, with a proper ERP system, they can just go and get the data themselves whenever they want to, because the data is timely, it's accurate, it's real time. So what we did is, again, we IT didn't sit in a corner and implement the ERP system. We went out to our 16 or 17 business units and certainly talked a lot about why we needed to make this change and how we wanted to go about this change. But more importantly, we let them know we're going to need your SMEs, your subject matter experts, your guys that you use every day to run the business, we're going to need them to be part of this. And we brought them in early and often in process mapping, in configuration of the system, in testing of the system, in cleanup of the data. We used a train the trainer approach. So we brought the trainers in, we trained them up, and then we sent them out. And we sent our experts out with them when they went back to their business unit. So along with that, we had monthly, and as we got closer, every other week, we had some kind of teleconference or video teleconference. So guys could get glimpses of the system and understand how it was going to improve their life. It actually got to the point probably that as we reached go live, they were like, okay, Ryan, I've heard enough. Just give us the system already. We're ready to use it, right?
Yeah, right.
But that's how I knew we'd done a decent job of preparing the
great.
organization for it. So
That was a great example.
yeah, and then so we let that settle for about a year. Let that change settle in for about a year. And now we're ready to bite off our next round of change.
Okay.
So, we've got, at any given day, we've got 22 to 2,500 individuals out building jobs, getting their boots dirty, swinging hammers,
It's a
working in
large
dangerous
organization.
environments, right?
Yeah.
Scattered across 18 different business locations.
Okay.
And some of our legacy processes that were very manual, that required spreadsheets, are still in place.
Okay.
So I knew there was an opportunity there to help improve some efficiency, especially in a market where we can't find enough skilled labor to help us. So
You're not alone.
yeah, right. So it's a big issue in the construction industry, and so we knew we need to really start looking at how we can improve efficiency and effectiveness of some of those manual processes. So my team and I traveled to a number of business units, and we spent days out on job sites, walking job sites, standing next to the guys doing the work, and we asked a whole lot of questions around where their pain points were.
Okay.
And we got a list of them. We went back, we prioritized them, we worked with other business leaders to prioritize those and to really nail down what the 2 or 3, 4 key things are that we should be working on in 2019. And that's what we're doing now. We're organizing those efforts and piloting many of those efforts and getting ready to launch some other pilots as well. But again, it's all the same thing. It's not IT sitting in a room saying, hey, this is really cool technology, let's go apply it. It's, what are the guys dealing with? Well, they're dealing with manual processes for how we collect time every day. Well, how can we make that easier? Why can't we put, QR codes or something on their helmets or on their person, or chips in their shirts, or whatever it may be, so that there's not this writing manual time down on a piece of paper, which then gets sent in the office for someone to key in.
Right.
How can we leverage technology to scan individuals in and scan individuals out? This isn't rocket science. It's been used in many, many companies. It just happens to be it's the right time for us now to start using it. And every hour we save of manual hand crunching data into Excel is an hour we give back to the guys in the field to build buildings or to plan the next phase of the work on that building. So
I love it. You're using technology to automate, to take away their pain points. I love how you're piloting programs as opposed to just jumping all in, and involving the field. So, I mean, to me, that has all the keys to success for the project. Thanks so much for your time today. I'd like to thank Ryan Hale, our guest today, for joining us and for listening to the interview. And to learn more, go to ComSpark.tech.